Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Yeah, end of the weekend. I'm running out of steam, so I'm hoping that I've got enough to get through today. And I had a little visitor just before I started live streaming, so had to get that sorted out. But I'm here, and we are going to try to return to creating adventures, writing adventures, making adventures. It's all about the Mage Tower, Wizard Tower, things like that. Arcane Tower. We're going to do an Arcane library today. It'd be very interesting to see how that all works out. Honestly, I have really not too much of an idea of how well that's going to work out. But yeah, I'm here. So grab some food, some drink, make yourself comfortable, and I will put up a poll. I just have not had time to prepare a poll in advance, and therefore it's not ready to go right now. But I will put up a poll in a second. So yes, get yourself comfortable, and we'll get started. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about how to write, create, make, generate your own sort of not much. I would say it's like a mage tower, but not really a mage tower, an arcane tower. We're dealing with specifically something that's more in the line of a wizard library, an arcane library, a magic library, a sorcerer's library, somewhere where there's magic going on. I thought that would be an interesting topic for today, and I'm sure we will roll around to everything eventually. But that was sort of where my head was at with regard to what we would do today. Okay, so I have prepared a map for this. I have some notes I've made in advance, so I've done some of the work, but I'm not going to use that information or material unless you guys are struggling to come up with ideas yourselves, okay? And then we'll go from there. I'm really leaning into the idea that we're dealing with a location that is more around, what's the word? It's a library. We're building a library that's specifically set up to be a source of magic information, or a source of arcane knowledge or magical knowledge, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's where my head is at with regard to that, and I want to sort of focus heavily on that aspect today. So this is the map. There are 23 locations in this map. In my head, I've penciled away that the key locations where we will have things like books, I think the main library area should be number 5. I think that the structure of that room looks like it should be where you would find the bulk of your library books. I think that's smart. I would also say that 17, maybe that's a restricted area or something like that, or just a main floor of the library. 13 and 14 I feel like might be suitable for the catalogue area, or something like a journals, or periodicals, scrolls, things that are less like a book shape but still have information. And then 21, well, actually 21 might wind up being sort of more of a reception or administration area. And then the other ones will sort of fill in the gaps. You'll notice there are 3 entry points. There's Area 1, Area 2, and Area 3, which is slightly damaged. Okay? And we've got a lot of rooms coming off this to fill in. For those of you who are wondering what's going on with number 19, which is just below 20, there is actually a secret door or secret wall there that leads into 19. And it's a small round room, and I suspect that might be the room where naughty things take place. I don't know. You have to think about this. So let's ask you the first question that you require, and then I will put up a poll and I'll start working my way through what I want to do with this. So first off, whose arcane library is this? And what would be what is the conflict that might come from this Arcane library location? So all adventures are about some sort of conflict, whether that's with a individual or a creature or a being or a monster or something else, okay? So we need to determine that overall concept of who the Arcane Library belongs to, okay? I don't want to call it Bob's Arcane Library if I can help it. And then once we've established that, then we're going to deal with the next aspect. Okay, the next aspect is this. For the first 40 minutes, we are going to just deal with the descriptions of each location. So what you want to do is give me the number of the location, number of area, and then tag name if you've got one. If you don't, you don't. And then description of what is there. Now, my general feeling is that you can do this in 1 or 2 sentences. If you're getting beyond 3 sentences or 4 sentences, make sure to number it again so that I know that it's fitting in there, okay? Now, you're probably wondering, yes, but what about things like, if we're only dealing with the description of what is there, what about things like, furniture? Well, that's what's there. What about monsters and traps and treasure and NPCs and puzzles and like that's cool. We'll do that later. Okay, we'll deal with that after. Let's just deal with the first part of it. And so Fred Huber's given me a good example. He's got Area 1, main entrance, ornate brass doors carved with magical runes of protection. The doors can only be opened by authorized persons. 2 iron golems stand guarding, and continue. And so he's continued. Right, so we will take this and I'll drop this into our document. I have a Google document that is numbered from 1 to 23, and I will show you that document a little bit later, but there's nothing on it really right now other than a bit of a template format to it. So there's not much point showing it to you yet. Okay, but we will do that eventually. Right now, we need to deal with the other aspects of it, which is authorized. No, I'm not an American. And okay, and I will just do this. Okay, it's 2 iron golems, and you had want identification or an invitation before they will open the doors. Yes, so we're keeping out the riffraff. That's the whole point behind this. Yeah, giving the library a name is a good idea. For those of you who are here and are fairly new, can I encourage you to put forward your ideas? I almost always write down everything, even if I don't put it into the body of the work. I'll put it at the bottom and figure out how to include it later. It's quite common for me to do something like that. So yeah. So please, by all means, click on the subscribe button if you haven't. In 5 minutes, you can then start to contribute some of your ideas. Library name and ownership is in the name. Scriptorium of the Sect of Sorcery. Aha. Yes. Okay. So now it's going to be more about what would be the conflict, and we can come back to the conflict later. We don't have to actually do that straight away. It's all right for those of you who are wondering. Okay, now, so I've put that in. I've got down your notes. I'm going to put in a poll, and then I'm going to start adding some stuff myself, which means if I start adding some stuff myself, I'm going to start showing you the Google document as I type things in. Okay, so for example, Fred Huber's suggestion in chat looks a little bit like this. Okay, it is essentially only 3 sentences. It is just the basics. It is not intended to be fully fleshed out. You're not writing to publish. This is not intended to be written to be published in its current form. And so that is what we have, okay? He's got a basic description of what you get. That's what I've asked for, okay? And then from there we have some guards, okay? So he's done a little bit more. He's done a little bit extra. And that's probably as much as we would need for that location. Do you know what I mean? So just to give you an idea. Right, so let me get back to putting in this poll, and then I'll start trucking in some of my ideas as well, since I made some notes. They're all sitting down the bottom if you're wondering. So have you made a arcane magical or wizard library adventure before? Let's see. I'm trying to think back if I have. I may have. I can't remember. Yes is the no. So you've done 20 already. 20 is a round room with a couple of doors coming off it. It's got a double doors, and you'll see in the center there's the star with the circle could represent a statue, and I think that's what Fred Hoover's honed in on. Yes, no. Fred, I've pretty much figured out what to do with number 5, 17, 13, and 14. So if people, you don't really need to worry about those locations too much unless you want to add stuff to it. Not sure. And then just watching. Okay, poll, start this thing. Have you made? Okay, there we go. It's really interesting. So me being sick for 3 weeks and not live streaming is really throwing a spanner in the works of people who would normally show up to these things, because I suppose they're just assuming that I just don't do it anymore. I think that's probably the case. Anyway, it's not true. I hadn't stopped. Okay, so area 20. And we'll just drop it over here. Okay. Paste. Statue of the founder of the scriptorium. Frescoes on the walls are animated and show the life of the founder as they want to be remembered. Okay. The founder wants to be remembered. And I'm going to mark this as a GM note. GM notes. For those of you who don't know what's going on here, I have started using a specific format as I try to turn some of this stuff into, I guess, I don't know what to describe it as. I'm trying to aim for a specific layout for adventure writing, and things that I thought you would find useful and people would appreciate. So you might see a bit of formatting going on here as I go. So this is, now, do I say these are monsters or NPCs? These are guards, want identification. No, I actually think we're going to list these as monsters. They are monsters. We have our description, which I don't need to put a tag beside. The reason for doing this is that I intend to have it formatted so it's bullet pointed, bolded, and possibly even underlined. That's right, there's an underline here that I'm using now, isn't there? I'll add this in as I go so that it's clear. So bold, underline, there. It won't be laid out like this. I'm going to leave that to Willie to sort out if we ever decide to publish anything. So that's that one. That's cool. All right, back to our map so you can see where the locations are. and I will start working on the next thing. I assume 5 is the main scrolls and books. Yeah, I'm going to make that the stacks. Yeah, 5. I'll do 5. You don't have to worry too much about 5. The periodicals noted on 20, the Friscoes might not be accurate. I want the parentheticals noted on 20. Oh, I see, I see. Okay. So it's a it might be it might not be a true reflection of his life. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I like it. What am I doing here? Okay, so let's try not to get confused. It would be very easy for me to get confused. So, remembered a particular way and then paste. Okay. All right, I think I got that. Cool. All right, so now that I've done this, let's go over here and let's do number 5. Now this is it, the stacks. So I have these are sort of descriptions of locations. I thought a wizard study seemed like a good idea. Hidden chamber. The hidden chamber might well wind up being number 19. I'm not going to use these things unless you guys can't come up with stuff yourselves. We've got an alchemist lab there, potentially. We've got a dungeon. I don't know if we'll use a dungeon. A treasury, an observatory seemed like a fun idea as well. An indoor garden, maybe. A crypt, I don't know. A chapel, yeah. Guest quarters. I don't want to have living. I don't really want people to be living in the library. It's like reading a book with pizza. But the library, so the library stacks, I think that's what we need to call this, the main thing. Stacks. So I'll take this one. I've got one for the main entrance. I don't need to necessarily use this because we've already got our main entrance. We've got 3 entrance ways to deal with, so I'm sure it'll get used. We've got an antechamber. For those who don't know, I have this nasty tendency of adding toilets to my adventures just because I guess growing up, toilet humor was our favorite thing in my family, so I can't help but incorporate that into adventures. And yeah, I was looking through real libraries and I saw, toilet area. I need to add that. So that's why I've got one. A holographic chamber seemed like a good idea. A study hall, a book workshop where you could repair stuff, maybe a little museum as well. Like, so there's lots of things we can add in. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to make that 5. So if you're wondering, was I going to do any work? I'm definitely going to do some work. Okay. I'm just hoping that more people will jump in and offer some of their suggestions. Okay. Okay, my dusty bookshelves, some have toppled over. So I don't know if we necessarily want to have this be a library that is not in good order or is in good order. I kind of, yeah, well, I'll think about that. Anyway, let's add in another description of what's going on here. The shelves, the shelves have alphabetic and numerical symbols. The shelves are labeled by 2 L's. Yep. Labeled by alphabetical and numerical symbols with different coloured leather bound tomes. Okay, there's my description. We'll deal with whatever else later. I am going to come back every location in some way. I put treasure here. Now when I put in here treasure and question mark, I'm going to come back to that. I'm not going to deal with that right now. The reason being is I always want there to be something you can find in a location, because players always like that. Even if I leave them a dirty, rotten old bone, I'm going to consider that treasure. You never know. The dirty old rotten bone might be useful. I might be able to throw it to something so that it eats the dirty rotten bone rather than eats them. You know, there's a place for everything. So, yeah. This will hopefully save me a bit of time later on when I have to do all of this. So this is me preemptively going through. Okay, so I've done one location. Fred Hubert has done 2 locations. So let's see what the rest of you are up to and how well you're coming up with ideas. Have we got a few more people in here? We've still only got 3, but it's all right. I'll add another one of my own. Like it might show him zapping a dragon. It was really a gecko. Right. He zapped a gecko. Oh, Fred, that's funny. I'm looking for what room to use as the child care facility. Do you really want to put child care facility in here? So a wizard could study in peace when they can't get a babysitter. Would a wizard actually have... Would mages and sorcerers and wizards have time to have babies? I feel like their babies are probably something they made themselves, and it's a scary thought anyway. I really want unseen servants that put unattended books away. Well, let's do that. I think you mentioned that further up, didn't you, before the live stream? But I can't see it because it's gone. Unseen servants, shuffle. Okay, so unseen servants. Let's take that and put that into 5. Because I'm fine with that. I feel like that is not a monster. That is like an NPC. Can we talk to the unseen servants, Fred? Is that a thing for us, or is it not going to be an option? I'm just asking. Is that how you would like to be set up? Paste. Unseen servants. Put away unattended books. And tell anyone who talks to be quiet. There we go. We've got ourselves unseen servant librarian, basically. Why not? We can have that. I think that's a reasonable thing to include. I will make sure to bold it so that it's there. Okay, so I probably should do another location. You've done 2. I should do another one as well, should I not? So this is what I've added. Your unseen servant is now in the stacks. We could probably put unseen servants in other locations too. Maybe that's just a main feature wherever there's books that they do this sort of thing. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, so it's there. So next, let me think. 17. I think I should do 17 next. I see permanent unseen servers as not being able to be redirected versus their original task description. Okay. Yeah, a lot of stuff does disappear once I start the stream. So yeah, it would. But I've got a line in there for the unseen servant, so it's dealt with. I think maybe I'll do 17 next. Let's do 17 next. Because I think that's where we should make. I mean, what is it? Is it the periodicals or the journal area? There's a place where you have things like scrolls and manuscripts, and they're not so much books. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the next one I should do is 17. While you guys are coming up with ideas. Okay, let's go here. I get a distinct feeling it's going to be mostly you and me, Fred, today. But, oh well. It'll be a slow re-entry to the process. So 17 is going to go here. This is what I want to do. So what I want... Did I write something already? No. Guest quarters, entrance, antechamber. Journal stacks. Restricted books. I think we need to have a restricted books area as well, for sure. I actually would, instead of making the actually, maybe the holographic chamber would be fun to be in the center. Or do I make it a study hall? I actually think it would be fun to make the 17 that one. I could make the journal stacks this one. So if I write up a journal stacks first, that might be the best way, and then go from there. Okay, journal stacks. That can be not 17, but I think there's another one over there. Okay, I'll figure it out. So journal stacks. This is now. I think it should be cubby holes. So tool. Cubby holes are filled with parchment scrolls and manuscripts. Did I get it right? Oh God, that's not manuscripts. Manuscripts in okay. Tool cubby holes. Why am I not getting this right? Cubby holes. There we go. Are filled with parchment scrolls and hard-backed manuscripts of all sizes and shapes. Okay, so let's take the journal area, and I think that should be a reasonably large area. Do you know? No, maybe it should be the center. It's a hard one. I've got to decide. No, because we want it to be a major area, so let's make it a major area. We want it to be. I mean, the library should be full of as many things as possible, rather than fewer things. And 17 is a pretty good place to put the manuscripts. The main book area. Yeah, so it's got to be 17. It's got to be 17. Yeah, let's just make that a thing. Let's move that to 17. And we'll drop that in and paste. For those of you who are looking at me and thinking, okay, how does this work? it's very hard to build an adventure if you don't know what's somewhere. So this is why I'm doing it this way. Okay. Filling it all out later, sometimes it's easier to do later rather than... For those of you who haven't figured out, this is a location-based adventure. Location-based adventures do have plots to them, but the game master in the adventure does not create the plot. Okay, when you're writing it up, the plot is generated and created by the players interacting with the location, and the location should have some sort of overall goal that's attached to it in some way. So there's got to be something that's attached to it in a manner. Okay, so next, I was looking at something and I had an idea and I wanted to do, what did I want to do? A study hall. I should write up a study hall because that seems like it's a fairly important location. It probably should be a largish location too, shouldn't it not? Restricted books, I've got to put somewhere else. A study hall. A wide range of long tables with comfortable upholstered it doesn't look like it's right. Upholstered is not right. Oh dear. Unupholstered. Upholstered. 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 Is it upholstered? Is that how it is? Is that how it's spelled? Upholstered. 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 It is. It is. Oh my God, my brain forgetting the human language, English language. Okay, a wide range of long tables with comfortable upholstered chairs. Chairs are what's that? It's not scattered. It would be something like set around them. Them in this large open chamber. Okay. All right, so study hall. So where is our study hall going to go? So we're going to go here, cut, study hall. I think I'm going to make the study hall number 13. I think that makes a reasonable study hall. So let's put 13 as the study hall. It leads into 14, and I feel like that would make a good catalogues area for your library. So yeah, 13 might be the way to go. Let's take that, go over to 13. Bum 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 bum. As you might have noticed, I did not write up everything in advance. I did some of the work, I didn't do all of it. Okay, and then of course treasure will be whatever we decide is going to be there later on. I come back to that. Right, okay, it's 13. 13. Okay, so if I got this right, 13, and I want 14 to be catalog area. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll do the catalog area now, and then I'll go back to chat and see where we're at with people. The catalog shelves. So here we go. So this is really like so large, tall. Large. Let's go 6 foot tall sets of drawers with codes and labels. Codes and labels marked on them Okay, I think that's our catalog area, and this is just a description, so we're going to go cut, and the catalogs area is going into 14, isn't it? 14. 14. Okay. Bump, bump, 14. Okay. Moving that there. Bump, bump. All right. And then we'll have to deal with the rest of this a little bit later, obviously, but we'll do it all right. Okay, so we're building out our location little bit by little bit. It's getting there. We're now up to 40 minutes, and I always said that we would move on to the next thing. The problem is that we still have a long way to go, and me and Fred Huber are doing most of the work right now. So as a result, we're going to have to extend that time. I'm going to change the instructions though. We're going to start including some other stuff, because descriptions of areas I can probably deal with myself if I absolutely have to later on. Okay, so let's move over to this map again and see what people have got. Yes, the card catalogue of the collection. Cross-referencing by title, subject, and author. Remember how to use the card catalogue. Yeah, it's been a while, eh? Oh, sorry, the map is not on Discord. I apologise. I didn't put it up on Discord. I should, though. I'll do that. This is a problem. I've been out of the mix for so long. I have forgotten standard things I would do to ensure that today works well. And I'm going to get rid of the hat. I can't deal with it. Okay. Let's go. Where is it? Discord. I'll give you the link to Discord in the chat now, for those of you who don't have it. And I will. I'll put up the map on Discord as well. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, I've got a cafeteria. 21 is a cafeteria. Okay. Yeah, I could live with that. I feel like 4 is definitely going to be the administration or lobby area. I mean, it'll be the receptionist area, right? It's it's where you accept people through. I think that's probably what it's going to be. I feel like there's probably going to be 2. Even 6 might be something like that. 21 continued. Ah, okay, so you've got a 21 continued. Okay, I see that. I'll put that in a second. What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to put the map into the adventure design on my Discord. Okay, so Arcane Library. Now, one of the rooms in this Arcane library needs to be a tall tower. It doesn't have to have levels, but it needs to have a tall structure to it. Maybe that is as simple as this is the observatory, and it has a telescope that on a hoist that is then sort of lifted up and down the tower. I think that would be, it's not a bad idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. Map for today. And then find the map in the right place. Fred, where are you? So many files. Running adventures. Erecting an Arcane. There we go. Arcane Library. And I think... Is it going up onto Discord now? There it is. It's on Discord. There we go. Sorry about that, people. It's on Discord. My mistake. I should have made sure that happened. And I didn't. But I have. I have now. Okay, so... So Fred Hubert is dealing with 21. So I'm going to take the cafeteria. And I think I can probably... Fred, I can handle doing area 19, the little secret room. I think I've got some stuff written up for that already. I've got a few things that I had already pre-written, so we don't really need to worry about everything in this place. It's just the ones that I haven't... It's really about more what's there. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's keep moving. 21. 21. Let's just drop that in. Cafeteria. Okay, this large room has many tables, each with a magical menu. Tapping the desired food, drink, and place appropriate coin on the table. Place the appropriate coin on the table. Unseen servants deliver the food and take the coins. Okay, all right. So that's what you've designed for that area. Continued. To protect them from spells, no reading in the Okay, all right. Is it absolutely necessary to include this? Really? Are we that concerned that we need to include it into our notes for this? You make me laugh. You really do. Okay. So I need to divide this up into GM notes and description, but let's just, because you've already got some other stuff down, and I'm going to have to do some work as well. So you've put it in the catalog system. You want me to go into a bit more detail, cross-referencing the collection. So that's really a GM note. I just take down that little bit that you've got there, and I'll include 22 for the kitchen, 23 is the pantry. Okay. 22 and 23. Oh, I see. Yes, that makes sense. It makes sense. Smart. Okay, fine. I think I can probably handle a lot of these locations myself. Maybe it's more what we need to focus more on is the other stuff. What's going on here? So let me see. Catalogs. GM note. Okay, and paste it. The libraries collection is catalogued in this room. Cross-referenced by title, subject, and author. And there we go. And I just need to grab this, politely do that. Okay. All right, so I've done this. I'll show you this stuff in a second. I just need to get myself up to speed. Okay, kitchen, pantry. Pantry. Oh, sod it. Okay, so that's 23. I'm just going to drop this in and I'll come back and I'll fix it up later so you guys can see what I'm up to. It might be a bit better that way. Okay, pantry. Well, let's just label it as magical pantry. That makes sense. It's a magical pantry. And we'll come back to that shortly. And then the other one, which is the kitchen. Kitchen. Why am I having problems here? It's because there's suddenly I've got 24 and there shouldn't be 24. Should be okay. 22, 21. Okay. Kitchen. An awakened roper is the chef. That's funny. I feel like that is an NPC. So we'll mark it as such. And we'll get rid of this because we shouldn't be going up that high. And And so next, so this is what I want to do. I'm actually less concerned about determining the location of stuff, because I can probably do a lot of that myself if absolutely necessary. So we've got a tag name, description. What we need to do is we need to start filling in some of these details. So we want things like furniture, monsters, NPCs. We're probably going to have more NPCs than monsters, and the monsters are probably not going to be functioning like I will kill you and eat you. Traps, I don't know if we're going to have traps in here. Treasure, puzzles, try to keep those simple, etc. So, etc. Can we get that done? Yes, there we go. Cool. All right. 6 and 2. So you said 6 and 2, the magical portal room. Number 6 and number 2. Portal room. This is an interdimensional portal that takes the person to their dimension as a key is keyed into the panels on the side of the door, 2 being the destination. I see what you're saying here. I take that idea and to be continued. Maybe use a special scroll or turning. Okay, so there's a bunch of ideas there, Fred. Okay, let me just plug these in here somewhere. Come back to it. I think I did have the intention of putting a portal room in. I don't know that I want to put the portal room in 2. 10. You reckon number 10 should be the librarian's quarters? I think it's too big an area. I think it can be a much smaller room. I feel like there are some key locations I would like to include. 22, Awakening Rope. Old Stony. Oh, I see. 22 is Old Stony. That's the name of the NPC. Funny. Yep, got it. I'll do something with that in a second. Okay, let's go here. And what else did you have here that I need to take down? Old Stony. Okay. Cafeteria. Okay, so unset 7. That's a cafeteria. Where's the kitchen? Kitchen. Okay, so let's switch back over. Kitchen. And an awakened roper called Old Stony is the chef. So that is our kitchen area. Since you wanted to have a kitchen in our library, we'll do this. I will add in put in a treasure section later. Just do that so I remember to do it. The magical pantry. So kitchen, magical stoves and self-cleaning pots and pans. Chamber has magical stoves. Magically heated stoves. Stoves with self-cleaning pots and pans. Pans hanging on wall racks. Okay, got it. Magical pantry, bold and underline. Can supply any ingredients in any quantity. This small storage room contains barrels and bags and crates that can supply any ingredients in any quantity. Okay, so I might have to come back to that and break that up a bit, but I think that's the gist of it. I will put in a treasure section for this one as well. Come back to the kitchen. What can they nick? When I put down treasure, it's not there's going to be gold here. There's going to be a magic item here. What it means is there's something the players can take. Because every time they go into the room, it's like, is there something in this room that I can take? That's what they're after. So that's why I'm adding in there's always a treasure thing. This is the thing they want to manipulate and interact with more than likely. So I'm always going to include there's always treasure. It's just what it is and whether you decide you want to take it with you. Okay, that's working out pretty well. I need to start filling in some of these other locations. Oh, look, I've already pre-written so many. I just need to start plonking them in, don't I? So I will start doing that. I believe there is a museum. I want to do a holographic chamber. I feel like one of these locations would make a really cool place to put a holographic chamber for playing stuff. And what's the best place? 21's kind of used. Let's make number 10. It's a fairly sizable room. I feel like it would make a good addition to that. So let's make number 10. That's where I'll stick it. Yeah? Number 10. And if I go to 10, did I actually cut it? Yes, I did. Cut it. And I put it into 10. Alright. Okay, let's do this. And we do bold, underline. So a room with a machine projecting multicolored three-dimensional light images that move. Basically, it's your video or your projector or your movie room. So that means there might be some. We could have a place where I can also probably include like shells packed with small round silver discs. Yeah, like little like a I guess like a coin sized thing. Do I want to say rack or do I want to say what would you store this in? A wall rack. Wall rack contains small silver discs that store come on, that store information on them and can be played in the projection machine. Okay. Treasure. I'll come back to that idea later. So that's our holographic stuff. Bold. Okay. I probably need to separate that a little bit because there's a lot of GM note stuff and it's tied into the description stuff, and that's going to be a little bit of a pain later on. But yeah, so I'll do 10. Okay, how are we doing with How you doing there? Hello, Pale Rider. Better late than never. Thank you, Pale Rider, for showing up. Fred has been having to work very, very hard, and I'm having to work very, very hard. So what I'm really looking for is some help around what's the major threat for this Arcane library. I'm building up the locations now, and so has Fred been doing. So 2 Freds are better than 1. And yeah, so we're that's what we're kind of working on right now, and we've got about just under an hour left to go. So I'm gonna get cracking on my part of it, and I'm gonna leave you guys to fandangle the other stuff. Like our key question that I was asking before, we still really haven't answered, and that is, oh God, darn it. If it'll just let me do it, paste. So this is the question that we need to deal with right there. Is meticulous about his recipes and accepts no substitutes. Chef Ramsay level of detail. Okay, all right. So we have a little bit more information on Stony. I like it. Awesome. Let's go with, I have to go back to Stony, which is the kitchen area. It's funny, we've gone from a library and suddenly we've now got a kitchen area. Is this because in America, do you guys have a cafeteria attached to all your libraries? Because that's definitely not a thing here in New Zealand. They would never even consider having a cafeteria and a library in the same place as part of the same, site. Old Stony is, yeah, okay. So I've got your extra information on Old Stony. I will start working on various locations. I'm going to leave the map up so you can see. Pale Rider, I will tell you very briefly, I won't write it down, but I'll tell you very briefly the locations I have done with Fred's help. We've done area 23, 21, 23, 22, 21. So 23 is a magical pantry, 22 is a kitchen, 21 is a cafeteria. Number 20 is, I think we're going to just call this the statue lobby. I don't know what else to call it. I'm just going to call it the statue lobby for now. So we've done number 20. Don't worry about 19 and 18 because I'm going to fill them in. Number 17 is the journal stacks where you find all of your scrolls and hardback manuscripts. Number 14 is the catalog shelves. So this is where all of the coding, the catalog cards go that tell you where to go to find the information you need. Number 13 is a study hall with long tables and comfortable chairs. Area 10 is a holographic chamber for projecting images that move, and it's basically like a video room. Number 5 is actually the library stacks, the main place where you find most of the library books. Number 1 is the main entrance, and I'm going to start filling in some more locations as we go. Okay. Yes, we definitely need ideas. More ideas, the better. So that's a kind of a quick rundown, and I am going to start grabbing more of the stuff that I've pre-written and trucking it into here. I want to include a museum. I want to include a book workshop would be cool. I need a restricted books area. There needs to be a restricted books area. Absolutely feel like that's an absolute must. To have a place where we can have, this is where you go for the restricted books. So, I'm going to make restricted books number 9. I think that's where the restricted books should live. And I've got an idea. I was thinking back to the original Doctor Strange movie, And you know how they've got those the restricted area, and all the books are sort of locked up, and you just can't get at them. I thought that was a kind of a cool idea. This now, is this an octagonal room? I think it is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an this octagonal room has a central rotating book shelf with metal bound tomes. Okay. Okay. Chains hang from the shelves and books. So shiny chains hang from the shelves and books, locking them in place with intricate padlocks. Okay, now hang. Okay, so GM note. I'm going to write something like this. Let's think. The books can only be opened and accessed with magic like the knock spell. Keep the riffraff out. Next. I think that is... Obviously, treasure needs to be some books in here that you really should not include in an adventure. I feel like just go through the magic items in the Dungeon Master Guide or whatever book you've got, and just add in every single book that you should never let the players get their hands on, or they should never interact with. That would be the Necronomicon would certainly be a good one to stick here if you really wanted to. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, all right. So 17, theatre, convention, and meeting room. I've already marked. I'm pretty sure 17 is already done. 13 could be a museum. I've already done 13. 17, I'm pretty sure it's the journal stacks. But you want a theatre or convention. I've really made that 10. That's our convention centre, really, is number 10. So I've put that there. Museum. Okay, I'm going to add the museum in. Let's put the museum somewhere. My general feeling is the museum might actually be a good place to include the museum. 7 is a pretty sizable chamber. 7's not a bad one to use. So let's get our museum information. Where's my museum here? Okay, let's see. We've got a room with objects of historical yes. Let's go cut. So 7 is now our... Is it? Is it? Is 7? Yes, it is, because I haven't used 7 yet. So 7 is now a museum. And we'll paste it. Museum. Done. Okay, a room with objects of historical scientific, artistic, and cultural interest are stored and exhibited. What are they? I don't know. You tell me. And we'll just mark this down as treasure because we always want to have treasure somewhere. Could do with an NPC there, things like that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, lemon drink. Okay, so the library contains every recipe from the best chicken soup to the elixir and ritual to become a night hag. Okay. So this is really like a general features of this location. We haven't got a lot of that going on. We haven't determined who the founder is of this library. That's another thing. But I've taken your note down and I've included it as part of the main features. It might need to go somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see later on. You have to go through 9 to get to 10. Yeah, you do. 10, unless you open up the secret door from 7 and they aren't secret. I mean, I'm not really too worried about the secret passageway, frankly. The secret passageway is a secret passageway. I mean, yeah, I see where you're going with this. You're saying that maybe I need to switch it round to the other one. I could switch 9 with 10, couldn't I? I could switch 9 with 10. I mean, that's not the end of the world if I did that. Holographic chamber could be 9, and the restricted box, which is a bigger room, could be 10. Fair enough. Let's just make that as that's just a positioning thing. So cut holographics. Put holographics in 9. Paste. Take the restricted stuff and cut that. Cut. Put that into 10. Paste. Okay, I think I got that knuckle down. Cool. What else was there? Wards, pulse, and weave across the restricted books. Okay, so we're going to include this. This is the restricted books area. This is going to be a GM note. Is it a GM note? This is more like a trap, isn't it? This is really a trap. Because if you were to not... Yeah, it is a trap, isn't it? If you don't deal with the trap, you don't... Yeah, it's going to go off. So I need to... And that's where you're trying to go with this, isn't it? Really. What happens if you mess with the wards and you don't unlock it? Do you get zapped? Do you get turned into a pile of ash? Do you find yourself a tiny little mouse? 18 is the most logical for the restricted box. 18. I'm looking at it for 18. I can't even find it. 18, the restricted box. Oh, I see what you're saying. You reckon make the area smaller rather than larger. 18. Make these doors better guarded for 1. I suppose. Yeah. Controlled by an AI powered by Bargle's soul. No. Bargle can go shove his... Yeah, no. I don't... Yeah. I have an issue with Bargle or Bagel. Bagel, the pastry man. Yeah, no. I'm not including Bagel. It is not even... It's IP stuff. I'm not going to touch it. I don't want to touch Wizards of the Coast IP stuff. I would like to... Yeah, but the library being controlled by our magical AI power is fine as a general idea. I'm happy with that. That's all good. We can put that in there. The library is controlled by a magical, artificial mind powered by a dead wizard called, I don't know, but not Bagel. Okay, all right, got that. Cool idea. Right, so oh shizers. Okay, so a bit of moving around it. Asmodeus is Asmodeus. I don't think Asmodeus is copyright, is it? I don't have to worry about that. Asmodeus is used by D&D like many things. They appropriate everything under the sun. But Asmodeus is... yeah, Asmodeus is a king of demons in the legends of Solomon and constructing of Solomon's temple. So yes, Asmodeus goes way, way back before TSR and Wizards of the Coast. So we can actually use Asmodeus if we wanted to, just not the Wizards of the Coast Asmodeus. I like it. Let's make Asmodeus as the creator of the library. That's that puts a spin on a lot of things. I have a sort of pointed to the library founder being not with us anymore and having been a narcissist. Well, I feel like wouldn't Asmodeus be pretty narcissistic? It's a demon. I haven't indicated enough power for it to be Asmodeus. Wards are DM discretion. Right. Okay. All right. Well, if Fred comes up with a better suggestion than Asmodeus has created the library, I'll put in a question mark beside it. We'll just include that, but I don't know what else to use right now. So, yeah. I say polymorph people trying to break into the restricted, into the goldfish. Well, Xanathar isn't going to be a thing. Goldfish, I think, into mice. No, because mice eat books. It's got to be something that it would not harm the books and keep them out of trouble. So what would that be? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Restricted area wards. Wards pulse and weave across the restricted books. Trying to open the books without magic results in the polymorph results in the polymorph spell transforming them into something, into not mice, cats. Sorry. Yeah, cats. There's going to be a lot of cats around. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, I got that. Sweet. Asmodeus. Yeah. Okay, that's forbidden knowledge. Yeah, if we put enough really bad things in here, that'll cause some conflict for sure. The restricted book area is probably the one I would go with. I'd leave the founder name a bit open. A fairly successful adventuring wizard who wanted to show off after retiring. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a note of that. Keeping it open might be an option. Let's, yeah. Okay, I'm going to fill in some of these other locations because we're going to run out of time and I want to have at least the gist of the area sorted out. And you've suggested moving things around a little bit, so I will. I'm not hard, fast sold on it has to be here, it has to be there. You've indicated 18 would make a better restricted area, so let's move the restricted area to 18, which is just a bit of fiddling around on my part, which I will do right now. And I'll move the holographic chamber back to where it was. So that's restricted is 10. Now cut it, put it into 18. Is it 18? It says 18. Okay, 18. Let's do that. Paste. Paste. Got it. That worked out. Nice. Holographic chamber is now back to 10. Cut. Back to 10. Paste. Okay. Man. They can detect your intentions and react accordingly. I'm not sure what that's going to mean, though. Honestly, I've got no idea. So here we go. So hang on. How do we make this adventure interesting? I think we have to. It needs to be around books. So let's come up with some titles of some books that we can stick in here, whether they are from existing Dungeons and Dragons stuff or not, interesting, or create problems. Book titles might be a good thing to include. Let's leave you with that task and see how you go. And I will I will try. I leave it a little bit open. I got that note down. I'm just copying and pasting a couple of your ideas, and then I'm just gonna try to fill in some of these locations. And if I can show people what I'm doing, I will. Okay, intentions. I still like making them goldfish, having a few goldfish tanks scattered in the place. The problem is that they would wind up transforming unless they are transported to the goldfish tanks that are going to die on the floor. Oh, I see. I kind of established a library card system for the main entrance. Okay, so we need to have a library card. So we have to, so we're going to do something like this. We have to make sure we give the players the library card so they can get in. This is the problem with an adventure where you have restrictions on stuff, and then you want them to go there. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit of a what's going on? What's going on? Susie Q said, Fred is losing his mind. Yes, receptionist. Oh, thank you. Okay, 4 is the receptionist, library receptionist. Entry only, by invitation. Okay, so thank you. That's that bit done. Let's put in that one. Obviously, number 2 is some sort of back door. Probably the service. It's the service entrance, isn't it? That's the service entrance. Of course it is. It's the service entrance. Number 4. 4. And paste. Library reception. And and we will just go here, here, here. So entry is only by invitation or by a card. The receptionist has the lists of who gets what level of card and keeps records of who checks out what box. Of course, absolutely. That's a given. So number 4 has been established. Okay, all right. I'm going to start leaving you guys to come up with some unusual books. Yeah, steal it from somebody that has it. Sure. All right, so we've got some the Path of the Night Hag. Yeah. Okay, let me transfer over, and I will start filling out the rest of this location with some of the stuff that I've got. Okay. So 7. Okay, so there's a couple of different other places I would like to include in here that we haven't got that I need to put in here. So let's see. I think we should have a book workshop. A place where books can be repaired. I feel like that is a thing. Did I have this? I was going to have the lozenges to keep my voice from cracking. I'm starting to lose it. It's getting sore now. So let's see. Book workshop. It's just about where I position the book workshop. That's the decision about where it needs to be positioned. I think the book workshop could go in 8. You could go through from 7 to 8. I feel like 8 is not a bad place to position a book workshop where you would actually like do stuff, right? It's kind of off to the side a little bit. It's sort of, yeah, I feel like number 8 is probably not a bad place to stick it. And I don't think I've used number 8 yet. So let's go cut. And is it number 8? Yes, so number 8. And I haven't used number 9 either. I'm pretty sure I haven't used number 9, but I have used, I'm about to use number 8. Yeah, okay. Let's put in this here. And we'll make that a book workshop. A room containing a large work table, book press, printing press, bottles of glue, sticky tape, bone folding tool, and what's a gun eraser? Gun? Is it glue? Gun eraser? It can't be gun. Glue, eraser, cleaning, and cleaning pads. Cleaning pads. Okay, I think that's going to be there. All right, let's do that. Okay, so that's that one. Next. 9. I haven't done 9, have I? 9 is something. I think 9 should be there, the tower, the observatory, the thing that goes up and down. Let's stick that in. I really want to include some. Yeah, 9 can be that. It's a big enough chamber. It's kind of the right shape. Yeah, 9. So where is my observatory? And I just need to type. Here we go. Let's go here. Cut. 9. And then fill it out. Okay, observatory. Bold, underline. A room with a large telescope. on a moving hoist that travels from the ground floor to the top of the let's go 100 foot high tower ceiling. Full stop. Okay, so a room with a large hoist on a moving a large telescope on a moving hoist that travels from the ground floor to the top of the 100-foot high tower ceiling. Okay. A chair. No, let's just put a platform. Let's make it a platform. A room with a large telescope sitting on a platform platform connected to a moving hoist that travels from the ground floor. Yes. Okay. The walls are covered in moving, sparkling star charts. Okay, all right. I think I got that nailed down. Treasure. Okay, all right. That's another one. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Okay, what else have I got here? Fill in another place. The hidden chamber has to be 19. So let's take the hidden chamber and we'll make that a thing. So cut, hidden chamber, 19, there it is. Paste. Hidden chamber. Bold and underline. Secret room with ancient relics and mysterious symbols. On the floor, walls, and ceiling. Okay, so so the GM notes is the secret door to this chamber is very hard to find and open to find and can only be opened with magic like the knock spell. Okay, done that. I don't know what else. What are we putting in here that's so important to be hidden from the outside world? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's do that. It's 19. So now, if I'm dealing with 15 and 16, what is 15 and 16? 15 and 16 are very small rooms. 15 is a tiny room. 16 is a slightly bigger room. And then we're getting into sort of auxiliary places that are like number 2 is like a service entrance, isn't it? Really, it's a service entrance. Service entrance. That's not right. Sorry. Service entrance. I don't know what 13. 13's like a rear door. Okay. Service entrance. The double doors to this. The double doors are made of a shiny metal. So GM notes. Okay, I'm going to come back to that and see how you guys are doing in the chat, since I've been paying attention to just typey the whole time. Let's see what you guys come up with. Oh, we've got some book names. Okay, so there's a bunch of book names here. I'm going to take down some of these. Book titles, and it's going to be about like just going through the book titles and deciding where to stick them. So I'm just going to make a list. Pardon me, book titles, and I want a list of book titles. So, I mean, let's get real. If the players get into this idea of this adventure, they expect there to be a whole bunch of books they should not get access to. So, using shadow creatures to brainwash. Far out. Okay, good. That's one. The Path of the Night Hag. I feel like the is unnecessary, but if I can just get it to Path of the Night Hag, that'll do. Restricted reading. Path of the Night Hag. Done. What else have you got here? Number 12 and 12. Number 12. I'm looking at 12. 12. Yes, that's it. 12 and 3 needs to be extremely well guarded. Yes. Fred, would you like to set up some guards for number 12, or at least number 3, entry point 3, and entry point 2? Is it 2? 12. Well, you know what I mean. For the service entrance and for the other auxiliary entryway. Book title: True Names of Celestials and Demons. Ooh dear, that's not a good book to have around. But I suppose Asmodeus would have a list of those, wouldn't he? Just in case. Just in case. Maybe not his own name in there. It might have put in the wrong name. Yes, book workshop for repairs and binding new books. Yes. Book title: 9 Howls of Alchemy. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. Now, 9 Howls of Alchemy. Fred, I'm sure we'll come up with some suitable precautions so that people can't get into the library coming through the wrong way. 8 Book Workshop Binding Repairs Supervisor is a beholder named 7. Is that Skeven or 7? Are we calling... Okay, so this is the workshop. We've got an NPC in the workshop. Sweet, fine with that. Can I find the bookshelf? The workshop. Book workshop. Here we go. Here we go. And so we want an NPC. And our NPC is paste. The supervisor. Bum. The supervisor is and it can't be beholder. It'll have to be an I tyrant. I tyrant. Tyrant is an I tyrant named 7. I think that's what you were trying to say. Oh, I don't know. I'm just sticking it in. All right, so that's that bit. I think I think I'm going to have area 11, F15 and 16 under control. I think area, oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Okay. Gun eraser. Oh, it's a gum eraser. Thank you, Fred. I was wondering, what the hell am I writing down here? A gum eraser. Ay. Cleaning and a gum eraser. Gum. Not a gun, it's gum eraser. Next. 8 continued. 4 gnome bookbinders and repairmen. Okay. I'm just going to put 4 gnome bookbinders. Do we have names for all those gnomes? Or are we not going to worry about that? That would be my question. Paste. Where is this? Come on, Fred. Think. Yes, 4 gnome bookbinders are working hard to keep up with I tyrant's instructions. Dear. Okay. I got it. Let's keep going. 3. With a leather sack containing, what's it, S? 3. Skeleton with a leather sack containing 4 metal library cards and a notebook with notes on the library. You know, Fred Hooper, I've noticed that you like to stick stuff that pretty much gets everybody past everything at the very beginning of these entranceways. I have noticed this. What's the deal? Is it to eliminate, I don't know, what? Skull. A skeleton with a leather sack containing 4 metal library cards and note with information on the library. Okay, so so rear door. So this is that. Okay. So I'll sort that out later. That's what you've kind of done there. We've got a service entrance. I don't have all the information on the service entrance. Okay. All right. Shizes. Okay. gold. Right. What else? 3 add-ons. 4 harpies. And 3? Why harpies? $16 loo. The loo. Oh, is 16 the loo? Actually, I think 15 should be the loo. 15 should be the toilet. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. I wanted to add in a toilet of all the crazy, like, why not? Let's put a toilet in there. I want toilets. I want a toilet in my library. Yeah. Okay, it's this. Okay, keep up, Fred. The loo, and yeah, 15 is going to be our toilet. It's a small enough. Where did I put it all? Here we go, toilet. Here we go. I've got it. Right, cut. If I got 15, 15, 15, 15. Yes. Paste. One toilet. One toilet. We've got to do something with the toilet. You've got to have some sort of crazy thing in there that's going on. In our toilet. I've got a large round iron bucket, has a wooden seat with a hole in it. The bucket is half full of urine and fecal material. I feel like if you're going to have a toilet in a magical library, it would probably just be, it'd be clean. It'd permanently have like prestidigitation operating or something like that. The bucket is, let's just say it, the bucket is empty. Let's say that. And I haven't had a chance to write down anything about that, but we're going to keep going. I'm going to grab these book names. How am I doing for time? I'm almost out of time. Man. Okay. Let's, in the last 4 minutes before I have to leave, I need adventure hooks for this thing. Adventure hooks. How do we get our players to go to this very, very weird place? Instructional manual on creating the Philosopher's Stone. Ooh, oh nice. That's a good idea. Get my book titles down. We need some adventure hooks. How do we get them there? Convince them to go to a place which is potentially very silly to go to. So that's the question. Book title: How to Charm a Dragon. Ooh, nice. Book titles are always a big thing, right? You know, every time you get to a shelf, and it's a bookshelf, and if you don't have titles of books figured out in advance, your players are going to ask you what the name of something is. The world's vibration and how to control them. I'm a little lost as to what that's all about, but okay. I'm just going to mark it down and deal with it later, since I'm running out of time. How to construct a devil's construct. How to construct a devil. What do you mean? How to construct a devil's construct? I'm a little lost on that one. Okay, let's keep going. Well, I would have iron golems and the library card or special tokens for each entrance. All doors being ornate brass with magical runes carved into them. Okay, so what you are suggesting is really sort of an overall feature of the place. So I'm going to just drop that into the features section since I'm running out of time. And I want to get down the vast majority of this if I can. This would have been so much easier if a few more people were throwing ideas. How to make a sentient weapon? Oh dear, that's not a good idea. Okay, sure. Let's add that to the list. That'll cause trouble. For those of you who don't know, sentient magic items are and weapons in particular are bad. How to make a sentient magical weapon. Yeah, ensure that you will be in trouble for the rest of your life. What's the best sacrifice? Oh my gosh. Of course it is. He's been reasonably tame, frankly, I think. Okay. Well done. How else have we got here? 8, 7 can be 7 or... Oh, 7. If 7... His seventh eye stalk is unusually powerful, not the normal effect from the DMG. So let's go here. Let's take that little idea that you've got plotting around in there, and where is my book repair place? Book workshop. Well, yeah, here we go. So under the eye tyrant and that NPC, the seventh, what is it? Seventh eye stalk is unusually powerful, and casts detect thoughts. Nothing worse than having an eye tyrant that knows what you're thinking. That will result in a lot of trouble. Okay, next. I did think having an eye tyrant as a supervisor would be appropriate. Well, I can see that. The system should keep the rift out. Yeah, the riff-raff, got to keep them out. How about a magical chamber pot? Anything disposed goes through the to the cesspit. I think a magical chamber pot is definitely where I'm going with this. The toilet for sure. I guess what am I thinking? I need to show you what I've done so far. I haven't got everything down, but I feel like the gist of it can be finished. What we need is a GM notes. Bugger. Okay, let's see. Paste. Okay, the magical chamber pot. Teleports all waste into the abyss. Sorry. Where were we going to throw it? Yeah, let's stick it to the abyss. Yeah, why not? That's the place to send it. Okay, this is what I have in terms of the adventure as it is. There's a couple of locations that still need to be finished. I don't have the adventure hook sorted out. I think that's going to have to be worked out later on, unfortunately. I'll work out wandering monsters some of the time. I don't think wandering monsters are going to be hugely suitable for a location like an arcane library. Main features are kind of there. It's a collection of ideas. 1 is the main entrance. Service entrance is 2. Rear entrance is 3. 4 is the library reception. We don't have a receptionist, but oh well. Library stacks is 5. 6 I haven't done. 7 is a museum. 8 is the book workshop where they repair books and stuff like that. 9 is an observatory, which has a platform with a telescope that goes up and down on the tower. And then the holographic chamber is 10. 11 and 12 haven't done. I think I can go back to them later. 13 is a study hall. 14 is the catalogue shelves. 15 is a toilet. 16 is probably going to wind up being a wizard study or something like that. 17 is the journal stacks. 18 is the restricted books area. 19 is the hidden chamber. What is that hidden chamber all about? Oh, I don't know. 20 is the statue lobby. 21 is the cafeteria. 22 is the kitchen. 23 is the magical pantry. And we've got a bunch of books we've got to stick in some places. I've taken down a few of your notes, and I've got a bunch of things that I can stick in here if I want to. I just gotta do it. And I haven't done it yet, but I would like to. That's what we've got done today. 23 locations is always quite difficult to get done in the space and time that we have. So I kind of expected that to happen. That's all right. Okay, not the end of the world. I always find myself having to do extra work later on with these things. And Wandering Monsters, you've been suggested by Pale Rider, is a Modron, mechanical creatures, constructs of some kind. I feel like it should be some sort of smallish construct, not just great huge hulking golems. Although I suppose that's potentially a thing. Do you know what I mean? The PCs need information to defeat the big bad. Okay, information on an artifact. They need some book that is in restricted stacks. Yes, the PC's looking for a scroll of stone to flesh. Aren't they always? Good ideas. Good ideas. Lost his tuning fork for return. PC searching to find the library founder who got lost in the plane shift accident. Nice. Those are some pretty good ideas. I'm pretty happy with that. Chat to our documents. Yeah, I look, I'm going to work on this some more probably at the end of the week when I get an opportunity to, and I'll put it up onto Patreon when I feel like I'm happy enough with how far it's gone. I'm so far behind on these projects, but the good news is that probably in the middle of September, I have formally put in a request to reduce my hours as of the middle of September, which means I should have more time to finish off all the things I do on this channel, put them up onto Patreon, and hopefully actually start doing some publishing as well with Wally. And AJ Pickett, actually, as it happens. So, yes, a little trio of brain power. Hopefully it'll work. Anyway, that's me. I'm out of time. I need to go, and I really hope that this was entertaining and interesting for those of you who are watching. I want a huge thank you. I need to thank Fred Huber. I really need to thank you a huge amount. Out of everybody here, you really have helped contribute a lot. If it had just been me sitting here writing the adventure in front of you, or cutting and pasting, or making adjustments, and literally, it would have been just tiresome, frankly. And Pale Rider, thank you for jumping in and helping, particularly with the book titles. I really that was really useful. Made a big difference. I will, of course, use some of those and probably change some of those, as I always do. So thank you to everybody who's watching and listening. Thank you to everybody who took part in the poll. Have you made a arcane, magical, or wizard library adventure before? Yes, 21%. No, it's 41%. No, 41%. Not sure, 8%, and just watching, 8% out of 12 votes. We'll be back next week. I don't know if it'll be this day or a different day that I do the adventure building. It depends on how my body responds to sitting down for 2 hours and really having to do quite a lot of work. These adventure building are really taxing on me. I want to thank all of my patrons. Without you, it just isn't possible. Obviously, my audience is always very helpful, but patrons, you really do make it possible for me to keep doing this sort of thing. And look, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.